Ladies and gentlemen, a new track record on the pole. Back home again in Indiana. Jim Neighbors and FSB Racing live Friday night. It's the Winston Cup 88 Series here at FSBRacing.com. This is Mel Miller Jr. along with Greg Bernardo. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on at the Mecca of Motorsports, Milty, Indianapolis.
Well, you know, this has been a lifetime deal for me. My dad never raced here, but a couple of good friends got hurt here. He is real bad. Of course, you know, the Sweet Savage in '73 got killed. A good friend of my dad's. Talked to him about a week before he had just got married. And Pops Marks can tell you about that. He was there at the race. Pops is from Indiana, along with John the Dog Palmer. Of course, I've had lots of friends and people I've met. I met Lloyd Ruby back in 1994, and first thing my dad said was, "Yeah, this is Lloyd Ruby, big tall guy from Texas, about 6'6", you know." He won the Indy 500, and he said, "F you, Mel," because my dad knew, you know, he pitted in the wrong stall because their fuel rig was in '72 was broken, and he got penalized, and I believe Gordon Johncock won that race.
Well, Milty, that's Indy. This is stock cars at the Brickyard, and a lot different way of driving it. These things aren't the best on this track, the way they handle. They're a handful, and these big looping turns really take a toll on the car.
Yeah, 64 laps. You're looking at maybe 12 laps on the sweet spot. Can you go 16 to make it times 4? I doubt it. And
quickly, as happy hour is winding down, Milty, let's quickly look at the points here. And we see Robert Bokum, who, if we can recall, had a connection issue and could not race, has allowed the rest of the field to gather up some points on him, and that leaves Derby Don just 14 out. Sean Johnson in third. There at 33 points, and the Webb at just 52 out now, Milty. So Robert's misfortune really helped out the entire field, basically.
Yeah, and you see Mark Favorite in 6th place there. His birthday is coming up. The 44 is coming up on 44 years old here Sunday, so he's looking at a win here to tie his number. He thinks the stars are aligned, and the fans watching on here on FSB TV. So
yes, we appreciate everyone viewing and hope that we can give them a good show here tonight. Indianapolis, 24 cars. There we see the qualifying. Jeff Hale on the pole, Milty. Mark Descends 2nd. Matt Watkins 3rd. Sean Johnson 4th. And Ken Ron rounds out the top 5, and Robert Bokum 7th, and all the way down, Milty, 24 guys. That should be a pretty nice sized field here as they queue up here and get ready to go.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's get a pick out, Milty. Get a pick out.
Okay, well, we're going to pick the 29 of Jeff Hale. He's out on pole there. It seems like an easy pick there, but not to discard from all these other great drivers, but got to go with the 29 here. This is his. This is his type of deal here. So,
I mean, obviously, we know who's in the field here: the 15, the 18, usual suspects. But I'm going to go with the 5 car, Milty. I'm going off the board. He's had some rough times lately. I think he's going to put it all together here at Indy.
Well, we showed up for the Atlanta truck race last night and had a plan, and unfortunately made a bad decision late in the race. We were racing for the win, and the zero more tits in the pits. Voshik Polak Chevrolet truck, and let's not forget Hooters, also our sponsor there, and. Great paint job there. But
focus, Milty. Focus. This isn't about you and your sponsorships. But let's take a look at some of these cars, Milty. The Aero 88 series got a lot of cool paint jobs.
Well, and these guys are the show.
Despicable Me is Jeff Hale. Look at that chrome on the front of that SS, Milty.
Yeah, that's old school Nova right there, man.
And there's a modern look to with an old school car, Boca Motorsports 6 Mark DeSenza. 15 of the Pac-Man, Matt Watkins. There's my pick, Sean Johnson in the 5 Swift. 303 Ken Ron, GoPro. Nine of Ken Hansen in the old Bill Elliott Coors Thunderbird.
Ken Hansen has run very well in this rookie season, and as we get later into the season, like they say in like college basketball, they're no longer a freshman. I think, along with his extensive experience, he's looking for a good run here.
Yeah, there's some new paint there on the 129 of Jeff Stone, the St. Croix. Nice looking paint job on that ride. And going through the rest of the field here, the lights are out on the pace car. We're ready to go racing here, Milty. The FSB Corvette pulls off, and Jeff Hale's going to lead them down.
There's nobody better on cold tires, and there's nobody with bigger cojones than the 29. So you're going to see him go, and he's going to go hard. And let's see what Mark DeSenza does on the outside here.
Yeah, Mark got a really fast start there, almost.
Great jump there.
Yeah, I hope not too good, and I hope no black flags there, because he did pass on the outside, but he did take the line before the pole sitter. But Mark jumps out to a big lead, and Hale and Matt Watkins right behind him take off after him.
Gaggle of cars like it does at Indy, where you get sorted out the 2.5 mile track here is.
Yeah, it's a huge track, Milty.
You got 3,500 pound cars going into these corners, and it's not like an Indy car where you can go flat out. When you see the Indy 500 here in FSB coming up here in June, you're going to see flat out. And we got cars.
Yeah, we already got caution out, Milty. And there we see some smoke and some cars scattering. The 47 of Josh Elliker, 72 of Mike Pruitt, and look like the 80 there of Ed Finley, Milty, at the least.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Stone was involved in that too.
Well, we know pace laps are long at Indy, so we're going to take a quick look back at that, Milty.
Well, with just a lap or so in, we're going to have to see... probably going to see these guys stay out, but then again, tire wear is crucial at this track.
Yeah, Milty, it is. Maybe with a half lap, these guys might stay out, but we'll be able to catch up with those guys. Let's take a look back and see what happened here. We're on the 47 of Josh Elliker, and we'll see what's happened here. They get down into turn 4 there, or coming out. And it looks like the 72 of Mike Pruitt in front of Josh got a little loose there and went around. And you can see they stacked up. Derby Don got into the back of Josh Elliker there, and a hard hit by Mike Pruitt, and then also a hard hit by Josh into the outside wall. and a bunch of guys scatter.
It's a product. A lot of cars coming in here. Dan Francisconi, Jeffrey Stone.
We go back live here, Milt, and we can see some guys coming into the pits.
Probably just smoked their tires there, so they're gonna go ahead and get.
Some guys might have. Some guys might have got a little dinged up there, got into the back of someone else as they were avoiding or getting into someone. There's the 72 of Mike Pruitt with the hard hit. There we see Derby Don, who was involved there. I don't know if he's showing any damage. He can check that at Melty. In the car, you'll see that thing. It'll say repair, and if you see it says yes, then you know you got your boys in the pits. Got to have some work there.
Applicant Jeffrey Stone, 4 tires, no damage. Nice pit stop from his crew here, and so he's back out there.
Yes, he is. There he is right there in that 129. New paint, as Jeffrey has gone from applicant Melty to rookie. Always an exciting time in your FSB career, Milty.
Exactly. When you know you're part of the team here, and
and it means something. You know, he did. It's not a shoe-in, Milty, is it? It's not a formality that you just sign up and all of a sudden you're accepted. You do get a trial period for you, but it's also for the league to observe how you race and you know how you conduct yourself in those few races that you race prior to a decision.
Yep, sportsmanship-based racing, and also you know, we have divisions here, so you can move up from the bottom and work up and show your skills, and the adminship evaluates and dictates. There's no set time limit of how you move up. It's pretty obvious when you see skill level of drivers where they belong, and that's why we have these divisions, so guys can have good hard racing within their skill level, and of course Friday nights it's on, man. They're all mixed up, pro, rookie, applicant. Let's get some.
Yes, it is, and you can see from that first incident, Milty, it did claim a victim, and that's the 47 of Josh Elliker, who did get hit from behind and went into the outside wall pretty hard, and maybe a little too much damage there to continue, and he's retired. Everyone else on the remains on the lead lap, so the rest of the guys involved in that were able to get into the pits, get their service, and fix up what they needed to, and that's, you know, obviously Indy long pace laps, Milty, so that is an advantage. If you have a little damage, you don't hesitate to get it fixed here, and you know you won't fall a lap down.
Yeah, Elliker runs so well. He'd probably be like me. If his car is junk, he's not going to run out there and get in the way. He's going to kick back and probably have a beer and watch the broadcast. That's racing, you know.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. You hate when you wreck on the first few laps. You got so much excitement in you. You're thinking long term, you know, okay, I got 64 laps. When am I going to be pitting 20 laps from now? And all of a sudden, your race is over, and you're just like, it leaves an empty feeling sometimes, you know, Milty?
Yep, yeah, you know, it's, and how you deal with that is part of how you keep your membership, you know.
Absolutely. And you know, hey, there's another race coming up on the schedule. That's the beauty of FSB. Every night there's a race, Milty, for someone.
Or practice session.
Or practice sessions. You could post on there. You'll get a few guys. You might not get a huge field, but you'll get 2 or 3 guys that you can run in a little pack and shake things down if you need to.
And, well, we look at these guys, 6, 15, 29, 303, 5. I ran the truck race last night. And I started 14th, and man, I was right there up front until I made a poor decision on the last pit stop. But these drivers can get you to get out of your comfort zone. They're so good that you start thinking, you start questioning, you know, what you can do on the track, man. And we're going to have to see how these guys deal with that, because they're going to mess with each other's minds.
Well, you know, these Indy laps, Milty, are really long. The straightaways are really long. Then you got these weird turns that seem like they should be easy to turn but aren't. And then you got the short chutes, which kind of throw the car against the wall. At the same time, you want to keep that speed up so you get the angle into the next. Same weird type of sloping, sweeping turn to carry out max speed down these long straightaways. And we'll see guys scraping the wall as they try to gun out of these turns, but can't hold it down.
Yeah, in an IndyCar, you can go flat out. You don't even lift in the corner unless you're in the draft or you got cars around you. You have to get out of it. In these cars, you gotta tap the brakes or ride the brake. It's a subtle tap on the brake, and then you roll through the corner. And turn 3 is they're a little bit different, but turn 3 is basically like turn 1. I mean, this thing is basically a rectangle that was built out of bricks in like 1911. So
yeah, it's a weird track. There's nothing like it.
Think about stock cars when they built this thing. And
it's a nice win. It's a nice feather in the cap of the guy who says I wanted Indy, just like you won at Daytona or other races.
Definitely.
And we got the green flag back out here, and Mark DeCenza leads them down. Matt Watkins in second, Jeff Hale in third, and let's see if we can get some green flag racing here, Milty.
Well, we saw DeCenza pull off the truck race. Of course, always the humble driver. Talked about the right truck at the right time, and it's very humble. Is what we always expect out of the 6. But we see on the track is a fighter, and guess what though? He's got that Red Bull 15 up his cojones right there, and
that's the Pac-Man, Milty. The Pac-Man's right there, looking to gobble up the first position from him. But Jeff Hale is right there as well, Milty.
Well, and Hale's a charger, man. Early in the run, he's going to challenge you. He knows that's his strength, and he knows he can disrupt his competition. He does it clean, and he does it. I always say the 29 is the fastest guy on cold tires in this league.
And we see him coming on the backstretch here. Single file for the most part, Milty. Some guys taking peeks inside. There we see the 9 of Ken Hansen take a look. But single file racing, of course, we started with this restart, everyone on the lead lap, so all single file. Sometimes that helps out the start of the race as well, not side-by-side racing. And we got, as soon as I say that, we have the caution out. And not sure what that was for, Milty.
Looking at the last car in line, that would be the 72 of Mike Pruitt.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, caution. Field has caught up. Let's see. I think some of these leaders here did not pit under that very early caution, Milty. They probably come down now, I would say, for some tires.
Yeah, it was looks like the 72 going into turn 2 just got loose again. He already had got loose before and had damage, so his rear deck lid was losing downforce there. The driver from Sugar Land, Texas, and a winner. I'm not sure if it was in this division or a sportsman truck. Been great clean driver, but he's got some serious damage now.
And as we see the whole entire field coming down, except look out, Matt Watkins does a little duck and go. He stays out to lead a lap here, Milty. Matt Watkins.
Well, you never question the reasoning of the 15 team. They always seem to have a
Yeah,
line
that's
on the.
that Matt Watkins. He says, "I'll come from the back to the front. I don't care." But
I'll
here we
take.
see the rest of the guys on that lead lap pitting. Mark DeSenza, there's Jeff Hale right ahead of him with the pole position. Got the number one pit. There we see Sean Johnson, Ken Ron, Robert Bokum. Here we go, drag race off pit road, and looks like Jeff Hale gets the nod there. So let's go back out and catch up with.
Yeah, well, 55 mile an hour pit road speed, big pit stalls. One of those tracks where you can get around cars that you've passed on the track and pass them in the pits, and you can still execute your pit stalls. Very pit friendly track. Indianapolis is for the driver.
Yeah, and actually the 80 of Ed Finley is shown as the leader momentarily. Let's see if these guys come in. Matt Watkins up there as well, but I think Ed might have just crossed the line ahead of Matt Watkins. I think Matt Watkins is the official leader. TG and Jeff Stone there stayed out. The rest of these guys pitted. So
Ed Finley, U.S. Navy, Live Fire Racing, looking to lead some laps there. Well, we're still lap 9 here, so we've got a long way to go as far as strategizing, but got to figure we're going to start to get some green flag runs here. And this is kind of the deal with Indianapolis is refocusing a lot like Pocono.
Yes, and as we see, the pace car still has the lights on, so we're doing at least another lap beyond this one. Matt has continued to stay out along with the 129. 80 Ed Finley peeled off on the pit lane, Milty. So I guess Matt Watkins is saying my tires are good enough.
Yeah, it was only a couple laps, but then again, at this track, if this thing goes green, he could still fall back. But when you look at this skill and and only a couple laps on the set of tires, I think if Matt drops back to top 5, top 7 in this run, he'll deal with that. He's betting on another caution here to reassess and have the other guys pit also. Matt Watkins, Indy 500 winner. The year before that, he was leading with 2 to go, and unfortunately, this guy in the number 0 got in the back of him, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
But you think that familiarity driving a lot of laps here at Indy, is that a help here for him in the stock car?
Yeah, and it's just he has, of course, you always know that 15 is going to bring it when the time comes. But this is one of those tracks. It's like Darlington. Darlington's like a stone's throw away from his house. He lives there in South Carolina, so that's a track that he gets really fired up from. I mean, he's always fired up, so you just know it. When you compete against this guy, when you've been racing this league 11 years here at FSB, congratulations again. The league,
FSB anniversary, yes, absolutely.
11 years, and Matt's been around for about 5 or 6 of those at least. And get to know these guys,
Absolutely.
Matt is a racer, and he is fired up for this one. And the applicant or the rookie there, Jeffrey Stone is second.
Yeah, he peeled off in the pit lane, Milty. That just leaves the lone soldier of Matt Watkins. Basically the only guy that didn't take new tires, so he's got everyone behind him with fresh tires.
Well, sometimes Friday night's the first time I get to see these guys live, and exciting.
Yeah, we see lights out on the pace car too, Milty. So we're gonna see how these tires. This is a good test. It's early on in the run still, Milty. We're only on lap 11 of 64, so still 53 laps remaining. So plenty of time for maybe a little experiment by Matt Watkins.
Well, Damien Gottstiller used to tell me that you can wear your tires out under caution at this track. I used to laugh, but
this is now
absolutely right.
Of course, one thing to remember: this is not the original NR 2003 Indy. This is Indy revamped, so tire wear sometimes a little gentler on the revamped tracks.
Yeah, they're looking to make the higher line more competitive.
And there we see the yellow change to green. Great shot there of the flag stand as Matt Watkins leads them down this long straightaway into turn 1. So what do they call this thing between turn 1 and turn 2, Milty? It's called a short chute.
Yeah, it's the short chute. And it's like where you drive it in and then you come up right up to the wall there and then come back down and you break it into turn 1 and turn 3, but then when you go through the short chute and you go through turn 2 or
you could say like 2A.
Or coming out or 3A, and we got a car around.
Oh yeah, we see some smoke there.
Tivic is around.
And so is the 77 of Pat Rocher. No, it looked like Pat did a little 360 there, and guys racing back to the line here as they take the caution.
Another father and son team. Patrick, his son, is in the league and is an applicant and racing. It's another family affair.
There we see the 69 of Doug Tivic, and let's take a look at that, Milty. There we see Doug on the outside there of the 44 Mark Favor, and just a tick of contact, and then more contact with the 44 and hard into the outside wall for Doug, and then he slides down the track and collects Den, but a gentle collection, just a gentle collection. Den should be okay. Doug, I don't know. And the 44 Mark Favor also involved in that. There was a little gentle bump, but it was enough to get him out of shape. It's hard to go side by side here at Indy, Milty.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm right there looking at my own replay and looking at it. It just looked like the 44 kind of came up a little. He knew the 69 was there, but there's really not much room to do anything there. So definitely 44 was kind of coming up. 69 was hoping he didn't, and kind of sucks because for both of them, because they definitely didn't want that to happen. But
yeah, well, when you're side by side, Milty, the air between the cars, believe it or not, that is a factor in this game. It's a very realistic game, and when you get close side by side racing, you can kind of feel a buffeting almost in your wheel, especially if you have a force feedback wheel. And when you feel that, sometimes the car can get a little out of shape, just like it would in real side by side racing. The car can get a little loose. and happy on you, and it looked like that's what happened. It looked like a little wheels kind of got a little wobbly, and they touched. And at that speed and in that point of the track, it's hard to save it.
Yeah, and the 44's exit angle out of that corner was kind of dictated. Once you come off of that corner, you're pretty much you can't do too much. And 69 was right there, hoping he wouldn't drift up. Most times he wouldn't, but it looked like that time just didn't happen. So.
And you always see the 44 car doesn't look worse for wear at all. So we'll see how that affects them the rest of the race. Sometimes when an incident like that happens too, Milty, the mental aspect of the rest of the race can be affected for you. You keep road playing the incident over and over in your mind. Was it my fault? Was it his fault? Did I get into him? Did he get into me? Is my car jacked up? Is my motor okay? Do I need tires? All these things, and all of a sudden the green flag's out again. You got to focus on racing, and your mind's elsewhere.
Exactly. If you have the technical ability, you can get in the pits, get in service, check the replay, and not lose too much time. But that's very difficult. And then to come back and try to regain your focus on the race is very difficult. So most of the time we recommend that if you're not sure, you just count it as one, and you have to drive accordingly, which is still don't want to hit a car, but you still want to race for the win. So you race hard if you got a good car. You got one ink. If you get two, then you got to park it. But otherwise, you're out there to race. So as long as you got a good car, I think you gotta kind of put that aside. Keep it in the back of your mind and know if you make contact with another car, which it happens.
Well, we're working lap 15 of 64 under caution, and 15 of Matt Watkins continues to lead it here under caution. 29 of Jeff Hale second, 6 of Mark DeSenza third, 303 of Ken Ron fourth, 5 of Sean Johnson fifth. Bochum in the 18 car there, sitting in sixth. It's about where he started. I think he started seventh. Milty, he's up to sixth. But hasn't had a lot of green flag opportunities to do any racing, and of course, as you see, he's got the 5 and the 303 ahead of him, teammates. So maybe a little team racing going on early there for Bochum Motorsports.
Yeah, we watch these leaders a lot. Kind of taking a look at some of these guys, kind of towards the back a little bit. Rouchet and Troy Higgins. We had a great battle last night in the trucks. Man, that guy can drive, man. And I mean, I tried everything. I dove him. I
we know that, Milty.
On him, and that guy was all that and more, man. Definitely got a lot of respect for the 19.
Yeah, well,
did get in a couple of other cars there, which could be an issue as far as how many incidents he had in that race. But of course, all races are reviewed. But head to head.
Well,
man,
we saw him in that Wednesday. We saw him in that Wednesday night Pro Cup race, driving the wheels off the car. So no surprise, Troy Higgins in the truck or the car. He's fast and he's racy. And
he knew how to get past and pass, and we just we were just wheeling and dealing around the top 5 there. It was intense.
Lights are out on the pace car here, Milty, so Matt Watkins is yet again going to lead him down to a green, and hope for the best here, that we can get a little green flag action here. Matt does have probably the oldest tires of anyone in the field, so
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how the other guys react to it, if he's able to pull away.
Even under caution, this track is a cheese grinder, man. So I like the 29's chances there.
There we see the green light on, the green flag flying, and Mal Watkins crosses the yard of bricks.
Well, Joe Cutt in the top 10 there. He's looking. He had a tough night there last night. Was running very well, and then late in the race had the DNF there. So he's looking for a good run here. And he's with a gaggle of cars that have been really consistent all season in the Winston Cup there. Ken Hansen and Dave Jandry and himself. That's a pretty good group to move to the front.
Talk about the draft here, Milty, at Indianapolis. We know draft on the other big tracks play a pretty big feature, Talladega, Daytona. Is there a draft here at Indy, though?
Yeah, it's huge, especially with this mod. CTS mod, or the CTS physics. This is a Winston Cup mod, but still uses that same physics, and draft is huge here. You need to be in the draft, and you need buddies, and it's very important. It's several miles an hour a lap faster.
And we see there's a lead pack now developing. 15 and Mal Watkins continues to lead, but the 29 and 6 are bumper to bumper there. As Milty said, right in the draft there, down the long backstretch as they get into 3. Right on, hanging on to Matt Watkins there, and right behind the top 3 there, the 303 of Ken Ron, the 5 of Sean Johnson, desperately trying to hang on to these top 3 who are setting a blistering pace right off this green flag.
Well, I'm putting myself in the 303's cockpit right now, and just from where I came up from in the race last night. And you get yourself up there. Ken's had a couple of bad runs in a row where things weren't really his fault. Just stuff happens. So he's really got to. He's right here in the mix. He's got the speed to deal with these guys, but he can't overcompensate like I did last night and make a stupid pit move or. You got to think big picture here and just keep yourself in this top 5 here because, sometimes you lose a little confidence when you haven't been able to put together a win in this league. But you also got to realize the competition is so good that you can't get intimidated by trying to do something special. Just got to run your race, man.
Well, speaking of something special, the 9 of Ken Hansen here, working over the series point champ, Robert Bokum. That would be something special to get around Robert Bokum. I don't care what track it's at. I don't care if it's in the checkout line at the grocery store. If I get around Robert Bokum, I'm going to brag about it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking last night until I took 2 tires and I was about 5 seconds in front of him, and he just reeled me in and was like, man, I wish you'd have got 4 tires. We could have run together. Yeah, so do I.
But a great battle there between the 18 and the 9 car. As we looked further back in the field there, Milty talked about the 88 of Joe Cutt in the AMP car. He's motoring along there, looking good, and the 83 of Steve Weber right behind him. As these guys settle in, hopefully to get some green flag laps. The 99 of Pops Markison there, getting onto the backstretch. And there we see some side-by-side action there. The T-Roy and the 2 Troys battling there, Milty. The 17 and the 19. Higgins takes the spot from Knoll, and Derby Don along for the ride.
Yeah, these guys are kind of losing touch a little with the draft here, so they want to increase their positions, but at the same time, they don't want to lose that draft.
Yeah, and we can see the field is really broken apart. And there we see some rubbing. Rubbing is racing. 060 Dean Gautreau gets down underneath the 72 of Mike Pruitt, who we know has some damage, Milty, from earlier incidents. And great side-by-side battle there. And Mike says, look, I might be damaged, but I'm still keeping this position. And there's another side-by-side there, 80 of Ed Finley and the 53 of T.G. Reese. Ed goes really high up into the gray. Not where you want to be in the turns, Milty.
Yeah, it looks like he missed his breaking point just a hair there. Driving into Indy, I remember watching a special with A.J. Foyt on ABC talking about what it's like to drive into turn one. And you just saw right there, Ed was grabbing his butt with two hands right there.
Oh, yeah. Great job, actually, by Ed to get it woe down enough to keep that wheel turned. You get up in that gray, Milty, and the tires point straight at the wall, whether you turn them or not.
You got a 190-mile-an-hour sled driving into that corner. That'll get your attention.
It sure the hell will.
You miss it.
And there we see another good battle here in the back pack here. We don't usually show them, but with Indy, big track here. Let's show some other guys, Milty.
That's T.G. Reese right there. Nice pass.
Yeah, we see T.G. there with a nice pass.
T.G. was right up there in the truck race last night. There was a bunch of... when I race against these guys and then I get the broadcast about them, it just really it just amazes me after 11 years of how this league, how tough it is. I battled all these guys.
And
and
the 72 of Mike Pruitt is around and hard into the wall, Milty. Hard into the wall.
Yeah, that could be the end for him. We're still showing green right here.
Wow, he's got some big front end damage. He's on the access road now, and as we were just scrolling through the field here, happened to catch it, and he got going again, and we stay green, and there we see the 29 of. Jeff Hale is the new leader with the 6 of Mark DeSenza. So the 29 and the 6 are able to get around the 15, Milty. And the new tires have won out over the old tires.
Yeah, you do not deny the 29. He is relentless, as relentless goes. And I mean that in a good way, because he don't wreck you. He just finds his way by, and I like his chances. That's why we picked him.
And so we stay green through the incident there. 29 is their new leader, pole sitter Jeff Hale. But the 6 taking a look on the inside here, Milty. Woo, that's close bumper to bumper racing there. And the 15 of Matt Watkins likes what he sees.
They got to be looking at pit stops here pretty soon.
Well, we're on lap 26 of 64. There's been a lot of caution laps, though, Milty. So that's going to affect the pit window. But for someone like Matt Watkins, though, I think he wants the pit window to open up real soon. And then it opens up right now for him, Milty.
Matt Watkins in.
Locks him up as he crosses the line, Milty. Now, this is a revamped track. Some of these revamped tracks are either really generous or very stingy about speeding on pit road.
The wall. We got the 80.
No, and we'll see with Matt Watkins on pit lane. We stay green. You get trapped down pit lane, Milty. Could be disaster.
Ken Hansen. No, that's 72.
72 of Mike Pruitt makes his way off of pit road. Matt Watkins on pit road, getting service, getting his right side's on. Now his left side's going up and getting on. And we'll follow Matt Watkins out, and then we'll get back to the leaders. And we'll see how soon they get in, Milty.
We're taking a look at the Matt Watkins pit stop.
Nice pit stop there by Matt Watkins. He's backing away.
Best. You get your ass whipped by Damon Godstilla enough. He analyzed his pit stops, and we there
we see. Talk about the Milty, since we just saw it. Talk about the unique entry and exits of the pit lane.
Matt Watkins going across the line at 75 miles an hour. Talk about he's locking the brakes up. By the time he gets to the first stall there,
and there we see Mike Pruitt, Milty, as Matt Watkins went by him. We saw Mike Pruitt spinning down into the grass again. Mike Pruitt really having a rough night. But again, green is the color of the day. We stay green.
Well, we just saw Matt Watkins execute a 75-mile-an-hour entry, get it down, and pit exit, and so we're talking about managing what the track gives you and the speed coming in.
And the other thing he was able to do, Milty, at this long track is stay out ahead of the leaders. As you see, Matt Watkins is now on the tail end of the lead lap, and he has fresh tires. The 29 of Jeff Hale is the leader, and the 6 of Mark DeSenza is second. But he got back out in front of them, Milty.
Pit stops for the 19, 8, 88, 9. Ken Hansen pitting. The 5 is pitting.
Yeah, and then we see some of the guys there. Then we see Sean Johnson in.
To the 15 there. He's got draft buddies too, but he's got lap down cars right behind him. So
yeah, there we see
29 has not signaled the pit. 303 exiting pit.
And we see the 5 Sean Johnson in, the 9 of Ken Hansen, the 88 of Joe Cutt in. As some of the other guys zip by, there's 16 of Dan.
18, Robert Bokum is pitting.
Back up to the leaders, we still see the 29 and the 6 still out there, Milty. Matt Watkins now pulling away just a tick from them, but 29 and 6 showing no signs of pitting, and the 303 of Ken Ron as well.
6 is pitting. Mark DeSenza, so you got to figure the 29 is probably going to go with him. He doesn't want to be out there by himself with no draft.
And we see 49 of Derby Don, 99 of Potts Markison. There we see in pit lane the 51 of Dave Jandry.
29 is pitting. Your leader in second place, 29 and the 6. Then they get out in front of the 15.
Can Matt Watkins run a lap at Indy faster than these guys can get 4 tires and fuel, Milty?
19 pitting, 83 pitting.
Okay, here we go, and there we see both guys lock it down as they cross the stripe. That's what you got to do here. You got to maximize your speed, Milty, because you know Matt Watkins is flawless on pit lane.
Dave Jandry exiting pit road.
And there we see the 29 and the 6 coming down. There's the 18, also Robert Bokum trying to join these leaders. He's about in 6th place, so he's not really where he would like to be right now. But there we see the preferred pit stalls, the 29 and the 6, get in nearly identical times here. So it'll be a drag race off pit lane to see who gets out ahead of Matt Watkins.
Hansen and the 5 of Sean Johnson are together drafting. This guy, Ken Hansen and 9, just impressed the hell out of me. Applicant, that rookie, way up in the league this year. A lot of experience in other leagues, but he's been very respectful and talked about how he's wanted to work his way up cleanly, and he's really showed that on the track. Talk the talk and walk the walk.
And here we see the 29 and the 6 had really turned out those pit stops, Milty, as they do get ahead of Matt Watkins.
The 18 out in front of them. This is professional sim racing right here. This is some good stuff right here.
So then the leader of the race now is the 29 of Jeff Hale, the 6 of Mark DeSenza. Both had great pit stops, both exited, and now Mark goes to the inside of Jeff, and he's looking to take the lead for the first time, and Matt Watkins trying to desperately catch up.
9 gets by the 18 and the 51. We'll see how it recycles here, and they're still just looking at the top 10. Wow.
And some side-by-side Matt Watkins and Jeff Hale, Milty. And Matt Watkins grabs the spot. So Matt Watkins, with those fresh built, he's about like 4 or 5 lap old tires compared to these guys now. But he's racy. He's trying to catch Mark DeSenza and take that lead.
You got Gotro pitting this lap. He's leading. You got the 53. He's got to come in. Also in the 129, the new rookie doing a great job, man. But they're going to have to stop along with Dan Francisconi. That's going to probably put the 29 back in front.
And there we see the second group of drivers here trying to chase down these leaders. The 5 of Sean Johnson, the 51
pitting
of Dave Jandry, the 18 of Robert Bokum, and the 9 of Ken Hansen. They got some work to do, though, to catch the leaders who have drove away now. There's 4 of them. And Mark DeSenza leading the way with Matt Watkins and Jeff Hale, and now the 303 of Ken Ron joining the party. And now Jeff gets onto the inside.
060, 4 tires.
And some great side-by-side racing here as Ken Ron's got to decide who he's going to go with and who's he going to push. And it looks like he's trying to push the 29 ahead of the 15 and does take the position. And now Ken looking in the inside of Matt Watkins. Some great racing here.
Gotro exits pit road. That'll put him out of the top 10 there, but he was leading for a while.
Yeah, and as we finally recycle through, we see the 53 of T.G. Reese is the last car to pit, Milty.
Yeah, he was leading, so... with 12 to 15 lap clips.
And as with now with TG going into the pits there,
still.
We see the running order recycle. The 6 of Mark DeSenza is the leader, and
36.
You see those top 4, Milty, have built up like about almost a 5.5 second gap between the top 4 and 5th place Sean Johnson, Milty.
Yeah, as long as things stay green, you got to pit as early as you can because you lose so much time on the track on this 2.5 mile track. You lose so much time when your tires start to get toast.
And we're on lap 36 of 64, Milty. So 1 lap away from halfway. So we're at least looking at 1 more stop, minimum.
Yeah, probably 2 stops, I think.
Yeah, maybe 2 stops here. As they get into some lap traffic here, the 6 of Mark DeSenza, and they navigate around the 72 of Mike Pruitt, who's really had a forgettable race, to say the least, Milty. And they successfully get around him, the top 4, and on we go. And there we see that second pack led by Sean Johnson, Dave Jandry, Robert Bokum, and Ken Hansen. Ken Hansen with a great run so far there, Milty's in 8th place, looking good.
6 seconds back to that second pack. And when you look at these studs in there, Johnson and Sean Johnson, Jandry, and Bokum, and Hansen, you're going, what the heck, you know?
Yeah, you are, and you're wondering. You're wondering here, Milty, if they stay in line and just draft the hell out of each other, can they catch that top four?
Well, and they've got the advantage of a couple of laps of, less laps on fresh tires. So it's all going to come down to whether or not they can catch a caution at the right time. As long as it stays green, it's advantage first pack for sure.
Yeah, and there we see Sean Johnson trailing the leader by 6.5, the back of the pack by about 5.5, and they got some catching up to do if they're going to do it, but they gotta work together here. That's what they got to do.
Well, you got to root for the 303 of Ken Ron. He's had some bad luck. We know the talent this guy has, and as we see Fravor get all in front of him there, a lap down.
Yeah, and a little further back in the top 10 there, Milty.
And you stay in that group like I was last night in the truck race. Stay in that 4 and 5 group there. You know, the advantage you guys, you know.
There we see There we see a little further back in the top 10, ninth place battle there between the 19 of Troy Higgins and the 49 of Derby Don. Derby Don looking for an Aero championship. He's in the championship running, Milty, so he needs to continue to move up here. Top 10 finishes aren't good enough with the likes of Robert Bokum and the rest of them.
Well, the thing about the 49 is he knows how to, he knows damage assessment, and he knows how to get the best finish he can get for a certain track and the situation that's thrown against him. That's why he's racing for a championship, and what a great addition to our team, having him, Rick Johnson, and Sam Young come aboard with me and Doug Tevick and of course Jim Ray. Jim and I haven't been able to race that much, but definitely made our team tenfold stronger.
And as we go back to the front, Milty, we got another battle on our hands. 29 of Jeff Hale just does not want to settle for second place. He's side by side with the 6, and Matt Watkins helping.
This guy, you know, he is an unstoppable force. And he doesn't do it by wrecking you. He just does it by absolute brute. He's a monster behind that wheel,
and
he knows how to get the line under you and root you out like a great driver does. You just watch this, folks.
And we see these.
Do it. Of course, he's got the 6 up there. That guy ain't no slouch. So let's see what happens.
We see these 3 have now pulled away from Ken Ron. Who's fell back in here in 4th. They're setting a tough pace, and there we see that pack of 5 now as Mark Favorite lopped down trying to keep up with them, but not able to. So maybe this this other pack of 4 is gaining some speed here, but they'll pick up Ken, and maybe with 5 they can catch him. But these 3 are setting up big pace.
World champion there. You got CCR world champion in the 6. You got the 29 Speedway world champion. You got Pro Cup, Sportsman's Cup champion in the 15. These guys are serious, man.
And and of course, Milty, don't forget last season's defending Aero champion, Matt Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, he's broken the record books, and I'm sure probably broke every record I've had, you know. And he's a stud.
And yeah, these top three have really separated themselves from this entire field of 24 now, looking really nice. We're on lap 43 of 64, Milty, so how far along do we expect to see some more pit stops?
I'm thinking around lap 50. Because they're going to think if this thing's going to go green like it is, this is professional sim racing, and you're seeing a lot of green flag laps here, folks. So you got to think green flag, and you don't want to stay out too long when your tires start to go. So we're going to be weighing it, but I think they're looking at about lap 50 with about 14 to go. I'll be right back. This pit stop sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers.
And as Milty takes a little refreshment, you see the top three. There's a great shot there down the front straight. Top three have separated themselves from fourth place Ken Ron and that other pack of four that are trying desperately to hunt down these top three. Now Watkins falling off the pace just slightly here, but he does have older tires, so that might play a factor as they get closer to green flag stops here. And there we see the fourth place 303 Ken Ron, and there's the pack of four slowly reeling Ken in. Let's see if that helps them get to the top three, or if it jumbles them up and allows the top three to yet put more distance ahead. And there we see some pit stops, looks like, are occurring. Yes, pit stops are going down. There we see the 15 of Matt Watkins. He's the first of the leaders, and the 303 of Ken Ron and the 9 of Ken Hansen. So there's the first leaders going into pit lane. Milty said lap 50. Matt Watkins says, no, Milty, it's lap 46. And he's in, and he's going to get his service, and we're going to stick with him, and we're going to see how that affects the 29 and the 6 car. 29 and the 6 pitted together last time, so no reason to think they won't be doing that again. As
pretty close there.
There we see the 15 of Matt Watkins leaving pit lane. Another beautiful service by Matt Watkins.
He's just man. Let's see race against these guys. You cannot even imagine. I mean, just watch this. This is poetry for a
yeah, and there you see some real poetry. If you remember from the last green flag stops, Milty, Matt Watkins did get out ahead of the leaders, but they were right on his back bumper. Now look at that huge gap he's opened up in front of Mark DeSenza there. That's a testament to his skill. And there we see the 6 and the 29 coming in, Milty.
Yes, sir. He knows he's got green flag. He's got green flag tendencies here. So in his little notebook there, he's thinking tendencies are when we go green, it's going to stay green. We have to pit earlier so that we can get maximum speed while the other cars are still on the track. That's where the draft.
Yeah, I think
or you forget about the draft because you're earning, you're gaining speed on just being out there on fresh tires. It's a huge 2-3 second gap there per lap.
And I think the 6 and the 29 have gone to school on that because last time when Matt came in, they drove around for about 3 or 4 laps before doing it. This time they did it the next lap. Exactly. They've learned. And here, as they come out, we're going to see Matt Watkins coming around. So we're going to see where this all hashes out.
Yeah, they closed the gap. They both had excellent stops. Wow, DeSenza, take a look at the 29
and the 72.
You ain't gonna punk. You ain't gonna punk the 29.
And there comes the 15.
Woo!
making it 3 wide, and he shoots the gap. There's some great racing there by Matt Watkins, making a power move.
Well, when you're a sim racer, you gauge what you do with your competition, and number one, you want to have fun. Number one, you want to make number one, you want to make friends. Number two, you want to be competitive, or maybe it depends. But the main thing is to gauge. You want to gauge yourself against the best, and you're looking at the best right here.
Yeah, this is the cream of the crop here. Matt Watkins
there's no
showing.
Excuses, there's no nothing except here it is, folks. Watch it.
Yeah, and I think in these races, a lot of now what this competition just.
Whoa!
And there's almost some contact between the 29 and the 6 there. These guys are just killing each other right now.
The 6 is back in the pits.
And
I think the 6 had
the 15.
The 15 is in the pits.
The 15 of Matt Watkins must have got a black flag.
What the heck is going on here? We're looking on the scanner, and we don't see anything except him pitting again. It's a drive-through penalty for the 15.
We'll see if it's a stop and go. If he got caught speeding, it would
it's
just.
A stop. He's
he
stopping
stopped
in the pits.
And he goes.
And he leaves. It's a stop and go for the 15.
Huh.
Wow.
That really obviously puts a little damper in his efforts.
Well, we watched him do the pit. Oh, he comes out wide. We watched him push the envelope on his last pit stop. We didn't catch this one, but apparently he pushed it too far, and that's the way the 15 rolls. He's gonna win or
checkers.
I
guess it's the checkers or wreckers there, and wreckers for Matt Watkins as a black flag apparently zaps him. And we'll see. Maybe a caution can help him out here. You never know with Matt Watkins. I'll never count him out. But looking at the running order, Milty, we see the same suspects as green flag cycle has almost completed, the 53 and the 60.
17 coming out. Late stops for those guys.
Yeah, and that will leave the 6 and the 29 again battling to decide who's going to win this thing, I believe, Milty.
Yeah, and these are the usual suspects in the Super Speedway series that we run on Tuesday nights. And the 16 is pitting. Ben Francesconi, he's been struggling a little bit with fatigue, being a quadriplegic. These races get longer. We'll have to see if he's going to pit or if he's going to what's up here. But of course, a winner last week in the truck race,
Schwartzman truck, and he's big win for Dan.
Yeah, he's disconnected, and imagine if he driving with a steering wheel. Imagine if you are quadriplegic. That's definitely this will work out, man.
So the Matt Watkins black flag shakes up the running order, Milty. The 6 of Mark DeSenza, the 29 of Jeff Hale now are in command of the race. 8 seconds back
wow.
to the 303 and the 5. So now my pick, Sean Johnson. Your pick, 29 of Jeff Hale, Milty, looking good. My pick, the 5 of Sean Johnson, desperately trying to claw back an 8-second deficit.
I just know, man, dude, I've been around a while, man, and so is that 29, man. You got that guy behind you. You better be scared, man, because you want to put him away, or if you don't put him away, you're in big trouble.
Well, there we see the 6 and the 29, though. Jeff Hale's not going to let Mark DeSenza get away too far, though, Milty.
Well, racing Mark for many years. It's being a guest at CCR Racing and racing him and Gotro and a couple of the other guys from CCR. I got to learn these guys, and I was like, these guys could race here, you know, and win. And through the evolution of time, they've found their way here, and that six car, that guy is pretty good, man, and he's just real smooth, and have to see because they are tooth and nail.
Yeah, and they're doing going fast as they put a lap on the 51 of Dave Jandry, who is one of our faster guys. He's a little off the pace here. I don't know if he had some damage or just struggling, but this is a track, Milty, that if you're off, it's so big that it magnifies your mistakes even more. So if you make mistakes, if you're a little loose getting off or you're a little slow getting down these straightaways, it's really going to show up in lap times. And we have the caution out, Milty.
Wow. Well, and they were running 2 seconds a lap slower than their fastest times. The fastest lap was the 6. In the 51s, which that is just moving.
And as we look at the running order, Milty, the 15 of Matt Watkins was able to take that black flag and stay on the lead lap. So he'll make up about 30, 40 seconds here, Milty. Just what he needed, really. And also, let's not forget, like the 18 of Robert Bokum, series point leader, languishing really in 6th place here. He'll get a new lease on life here.
This is not one of his better tracks. When you talk about a stud and a world champion like the 18, but find a weak spot. This is probably one of them, and he's still running just out of the top 5. So, good luck for the competition because he.
Well, they're not. Top 5 you're not going to have anyone in the competition shedding a tear that he's struggling just a tick here at Indy. They want to gain points on him, so the guys ahead of him want to keep it that way. And let's see what Mark DeCenza does here, Milty. We're at lap 56 of 64, only 8 laps remaining. What do you do? 8 laps, Milty. What do you do?
You stop and get 4 tires.
And Mark DeCenza elects to stay out. Boy.
That's kind of the move I made last night. It killed me. I got 2 tires, but
so Mark electing to stay out. Jeff Hale and the gang all came down. The 303 of Ken Ron also elected to stay out, Milty.
You don't know when you're in that cockpit and you're trying to drive and also make those calls. I think this is curtains for him because all these guys stopped and they're going to have 4 tires.
And there we see the pit lane race off. Ken Hansen wins the race off.
Well, he's in the catbird seat here. Talked about Ken.
Ken Hansen with a bold move off a pit lane.
He might have got 2 tires there. Even 2 tires could still be better than no tires with the 6.
Yeah, especially when
and track position with so few laps to go. Definitely.
And that caution really helped the 15 of Matt Watkins as well.
Let's see how this sorts out.
Yeah, well,
any of these drivers can win this race.
As these lap down cars separate out, Milty, we'll see how this running order hashes out. Mark DeCenza, though, what do you think he's thinking right now, Milty? What's going through his head? Is he like cursing himself, or is he like, oh well, I just gotta drive the wheels off this thing for about 6 laps?
Well, you can drive the wheels off it, but if it won't turn, it don't matter how hard you want to will the car or truck. I experienced that last night. That thing wouldn't turn, you go backwards, and I got a bad feeling for him. Let's see.
Yeah, now we finally see some stuff getting hashed out here. So we see the 6 of Mark DeCenzo, the 303 of Ken Ron, the stay outers. We'll call them 1 and 2, but there's the 9 of Ken Hansen, the 2-tire change has really put him in a really good situation.
I think so.
If he can get ahead of those two,
he's got 2 cars there. He needs to make it happen fast, because we're going to be like with 4 to go. You got to do it now, unless another caution comes out. You got to be aggressive here without making contact. But then you got Bochum 4 tires and the 29 with 4 tires, and the 29 is the best I've ever seen on cold tires, except maybe Damien Gottstilla. So this is going to be a show, folks.
Yeah, and we see lap 58 of 64, lights still on, so lap 59 will not be great. So we'll probably have like you said, Milty, 4, maybe 5 laps.
4 or 5
tops.
laps, yeah.
So Ken Hansen here, if he can get around the 2 older tire guys, it might leave the 18 and the 29 to battle those 2, while he can maybe just build up enough cushion to hold them off for the remaining laps. What an opportunity for him right here, Milty.
Yeah, we spent some late nights after the broadcast, or watching the broadcasts, as he was an advocate, a rookie, and I just like this guy. He's an intense racer like the rest of us, but he's done everything the right way, and but he's still a really hard competitor, and you got to kind of root for him a little bit here against these studs here. This could be his night, but
yeah, we'll see.
I got to think he'll deal with it the way it comes. I seen him be on the kind of shorter stick of having worse tires, and that's where you see the character of the man. You wonder, instead of piling up the field, he took what he could get. So
we're gonna have 5 laps left when they take the green, Milty. What about LT? What about the 15 of Matt Watkins here? Black flag, 42 seconds off the lead, and now here he is sitting in 6th place.
Well, that's it.
A new lease on life almost for him.
That's how champions roll. They find their way to the top 5.
I mean, he's got a great car. He's got brand new tires.
Go bad. Yeah.
And he's shown to be one of the fastest cars on brand new tires.
Well, fans, you got your cameras, your telescope, I'd look at the 29 right there, because I think that's the guy that's going to create some action here, one way or another.
No, there's some hungry guys here at the front. The lights are out, and there's going to be some guys wanting to feed on an Indy trophy. Yeah, these guys are going to be hungry here, and I think Mark and Ken Ron are going to have their hands full with a bunch of angry racers behind them who are going to be saying, "Get out of the way, man."
Yeah, Ken Ron is got some serious skills. He's finally getting a chance to put it together here, so these guys ain't relinquishing nothing.
We see the pace car peels off, Milty. Here we go. There we see the flagman holding the yellow. He switches it to the green, and there we go. Takes a little while for these cars to wind up the speed, but the 6 leads them into the corner.
Till the second, you can't pass in the short shoot. You got to pass out of.
And there's some wrecking in the back of the field, Milty.
This will look good for the leaders. Caution is out.
Yeah, there's some wrecked cars, but this could be for the win now, Milty.
Yep. Once you get under four laps, this could be a done
and
deal.
Mark DeSenza has a little cushion, but it gets real crowded underneath him. And there you see side by side Ken Hansen using those fresh tires to his advantage. As they take the yellow, it's a drag race down, and it's anybody's. Wow, we got some photo finishes there. As Mark DeSenza takes the win.
For the 9, I think Mark's going to get the win here.
Yeah, and the 9.
If it would have went green here, the 9 would have had something for
Yeah,
him.
the 9 looks like just got the short end of the stick there, getting edged out down to 5th place. But Mark DeSenza and Ken Ron's strategy paid off with the late caution, Milty. And Robert Bokum brings it home in 3rd, Jeff Hale 4th, and the 9 of Ken Hansen brings it home in 5th. Top 5 for Ken Hansen, Matt Watkins 6th. So Matt Watkins did not pick up any positions on that last late dash.
Yeah, how could he? There, he had the race clean, and he needed a couple laps for things to sort out. He would have definitely got a few spots probably there, but got to, clap your hands for the 6 here. Once again, he won last night, and he won Wednesday night. Very, very humble. Talking about being in the right place at the right time. He's saying all the right things. He does all the right things on the track, and he fought off a stern.
Yeah. So Milty, why they're circling under this final caution for Mark DeSenza to take the? Let's take a look back at Ken Hansen's run there at the end, Milty. It was a wild ride there in those last laps.
Well, you see guys come in the league, especially a guy like Ken with a lot of experience and been a champion in other leagues, wonder how they're going to deal with the competition. And he's done everything right and raced clean, talked clean, and it's the real deal. And, when you look at respect factors, seen this guy race in the top 5 several times and have the opportunity to put people out, and he won't do it. He races clean.
There you saw the reason that
all over the 303 there. Wow.
And there you see why
stuff right there.
And we also see why he finished in 5th and not in like 3rd or something. The train of Robert Bokum and Jeff Hale and company there really got him on the outside right as they crossed the start-finish line.
I don't think Ken's racing.
But a great run by Ken Hansen nonetheless.
He's racing to try to get a win. I think that's what he really wants, and so kind of like myself, this is his show tonight. This is the race. He shows his friends at work, and he watches these replays at work and stuff, and so pretty neat deal there. This is just
yeah. Let's
just those.
How about the tail end of this top 10 though, Milty? 19 of Troy Higgins, no surprise. 83 of Steve Weber, and the 88 of Joe Cutt. Bringing home the top 10s.
God, and these guys are so good, man. Racing against them last night, I was just, they're just fast, man. I mean, this is just a pro racing league with fantastic drivers, and top 10s are nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah. And rounding out the lead lap cars, 13 cars finished on the lead lap. 99 of Possum Markinson, 11th. 17 of T-Roy, 12th. And 53 of T.G. Reese brings it home 13th, the last car on the lead lap. Derby Don, 1 lap down in 14th. So disappointing finish for Derby Don.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic, but at the same time, It's funny how racing is, and it shows you the competition when you look at a top 5 points guy struggling to get a top 15. Like myself, and a lot of guys we get in, we run these races, it's just the competition level in this league.
And we are one lap away from Mark taking the victory here at Indy. So he will say, I'm an Indy winner.
Well, when you look at the 6 and you've seen some of the bad luck he's had, you always look at a driver, especially when you see a driver that's got such skill level with adversity and his sportsmanship. And this is a sportsmanship-based league, There's no disrespecting other drivers, and it's not tolerated. And when you watch guys handle adversity, and you know how much skill they have, and you just earn respect for them, and they become your friends when, guys, they deal with stuff, and, he deals with winning. He'll be about as excited as winning this race as he would if he finished last. You won't see him very excited. Oh, yeah, rah, like I might be, Me, I'd be yelling and screaming, yeah, I won. He just really,
it's just another victory to chalk up in his career, and if you're
no big deal.
How about on the flip side, Milty? If you're the 29 of Jeff Hale, does this kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth, knowing that you probably this is a race that you should be the one taking the checkers?
I don't think so, because Jeff hasn't been able to run a schedule like he'd like. So he had an open window tonight to run, and he hasn't been out there a lot lately. And obviously, Jeff's the kind of guy that goes balls out and wants to win. But I don't think he's going to be disappointed with this. He knows a few more laps. He might have had something for the 6,
And of course, series points leader Robert Bokum, just a masterful drive. Really, he kind of was languishing away in about 5th, 6th, 7th position, and as they crossed
track right here.
and as they crossed the line, he's top 3. So Robert did his job. He maintained his points lead. He protected it for the most part. And he'll be happy with that. I'm very sure of that. As I'm sure Ken Hansen, this is probably feeling like a win for him.
Yeah, well,
as it would if I finished top 5 in a Winston Cup race right now.
Oh,
I'd be like feeling like Mark should be feeling right now.
Yeah, well, you're on your road to doing that, And as all us sim racers, we look at. And we see our competition out there, and we see we can put together.
They received
the pieces together, man.
The Bokum Motorsports Foundation there in formation as they take the 1, 2, 3. So another feather in Robert Bokum's cap.
That's like Audi winning Le Mans.
Yes, they did the formation salute there, and a little friendly wrecking going on. Mark DeSenza he gets turned over by T-Roy. That's no way to treat a champion.
Yeah, well.
Man, I mean, come on, guys.
T-Roy, he's like Johnny Bench, a big boy,
DeSenza greeted Ruby by his fellow competitors there. They roughed him up a little, flipped him over, but they did flip him back on his wheels. So that's what it's all about.
Well, I'm just so happy for the 6. Don't spend a lot of time talking about him because he's just one of those guys that's just always up there, and he's so mellow and even keeled. You don't see him as a really excited guy or anything, or guy you want to, yeah, come on, because he's just always there. His skill level is just crazy. And now all of a sudden he's starting to put together wins.
Yeah, well, now when you match all his skill behind the wheel with the strategy all the Bochum Motorsports guys show. A great strategy. He stayed out. We questioned it. We thought maybe that wasn't going to work, and he ends up winning the race because of that other caution came out, protected him. But
that's why we're in the booth.
Nonetheless, you got to have the strategy to give yourself the opportunity to win, and that's exactly what he did, and he's rewarded. Great run.
Yeah, just fantastic racing. If you're interested in sim racing, you want to start from the bottom or whatever, we have division for you. We have, and someday you can or if you're a skilled guy that's running leagues, look at us. We have a great league, and we have a great sportsmanship-based racing, and come get some, man.
That's right, Milty. FSBRacing.com. Type it in. Check it out. Awesome looking homepage. A lot of work went in on the websites, the forums. So check it out and sign up. And you too could be out here getting worked over by some of the best. So, Milty, next broadcast, Pro Cup. Tech, I believe we are going to be at Texas in the Cup. Last race before the chase, Milty. A lot of chase positions locked in for these guys, but again, we talked about it on the last broadcast for those Pro Cup guys. 8th, 9th, 10th place in the chase. Could change hands in this last race, so a lot of nervous drivers we might see.
It comes down to one race right now.
I mean, this is kind of a championship run for some of these guys. If you finish 11th, Milt, doesn't matter what you do in those last 6 races, you're not going to be champion.
Yeah, and then from that point, you get in, you got a chance. You got 6 races, not 10 like the real guys, but
right. 6 races. 6 races. A guy gets hot, pulls off 2-3 wins. You never know. Guy blows an engine in lap 2 of a race and gets lowest amount of points. Anything can happen in those last 6. You just got to be in there, though. You got to be in those top 10 to make it happen.
Yeah, and Matt Watkins is going to deal with those points, and I'd like to thank the admins and the league for putting the time in and working to make that happen, because that's definitely going to bring extra excitement into the last 6 races.
Oh, absolutely! It's going to be an exciting.
Next week.
Yeah, Texas is going to be a great race. We're going to keep an eye on not only the leaders of the race, but also what those guys are doing. Who's in, who's out, who needs the points, and who's going to be the heartache 11th place finisher. Just don't want to be that first guy that misses out. If I'm going to miss, Milty, I want to miss by a mile. I don't want to miss by 1.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, definitely.
So great race.
Make it harder to sleep at night.
You said it, buddy. You said it. All right, Melty. Well, great race tonight, and look forward to our next broadcast next Wednesday. As we said, Pro Cup, last race before the chase, and it's going to be a great race. And those guys are going to not only be battling for bonus points for the winner. If they stay in the top 10, not only that, but those guys battling for those final chase spots are going to be dicing and slicing that tough Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and there's about 4 or 5 cars involved in that and that getting into the top 10. So
Absolutely.
Derby's sitting right there. Derby Dawn's sitting right there on the edge, and the rest are coming.
Oh yeah, that should be great, Milty. So appreciate you putting in the time tonight, Milty, and look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.
I love it.
FSB Racing.